my lovelies. Today I'm going to share a tutorial and a review of the TINTARK Cosmetics Funfair Palette. This is such a cute little palette. It comes in a little sleeve like this, and then it is really cute. It's got a nice circus theme to it, and when you open it up, it looks like your admission ticket to the fair. And then it has almost two different color stories inside. On one side, it's got some nice, bright, vibrant colors, some pinks, blues, and green. And then on the other side, it's got a mirror. And then it also has some more neutral colors on this side. So you can create a lot of versatile looks with just one palette, and it's got those two different sides. So I'm really excited to share this with you and share some of my thoughts about this palette at the end of the video. So stay tuned and then come along with me and let's make up the rules. To start out on our neutral look today, I'm going to go ahead and start out with this yellow mustard color right here in the top middle, and I'm going to use that across the crease. So I'm just going to use a blending brush, and I'm going to just dip into this yellow shade here, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that across the crease on the top of my eyelid and just blend it in all the way across. This is a really pretty color. It's nice and bright and vibrant, and it'll look nice. It'll add a little bit of a lightness to some of the darker shades that we're going to use. Next, we're going to go in with a flat eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to go into this color right here in the middle, this nice deep burgundy color, and I'm going to pick some of this up, and I'm just going to pat it into the outer edge of my eye. Nice, vibrant, pigmented color. And then we are going to blend this up into the yellow as well. I'm going to add just a little bit more. Really, really pretty. It'll give us a nice deep smoky eye look. And so now I'm going to go back to that blending brush that I used before, and I'm just going to use soft, gentle motions and just blend this in so that it blends in nicely with that yellow. And start to deepen up that outer corner, blending everything together nicely. And I'm going to use my blending brush, and I'm just going to pat into that color and grab just a little bit more, just to be able to blend out those edges and really deepen it up. And I'm going to come a little bit across my crease as well, just to make sure it all blends nicely together. I don't want to cover all of that yellow. I do want to keep some of that nice and vibrant more towards the center of my eye, but on the outer edge and the outer maybe half or 2/3 or so, I do want it to be nice and dark. And we are going to keep layering some darker colors and creating a nice smoky-eyed look on the outer edge. So now we want to continue to darken up that outer corner. So I'm going to go with that same flat eyeshadow brush into this color right here on the edge. And I'm going to do the same process, just continuing to layer in those colors and just continue to deepen and darken. I'm probably going to put a little bit less of this color than I did of that previous burgundy color, just to continue to be able to show that lighter color, but also to deepen up as we're moving outward towards the outer corner of our eye. I'm going to put that in, and then I'm going to go back in with that same blending brush, and I'm just going to blend that into the other colors we've added, just to add some nice darkness and dimension. And we can see that's really starting to deepen and darken things up, give it a nice smoky look. I'm going to use my blending brush and add just a little bit more, just to really deepen and darken. I really want to deepen up that outer corner, so I'm going to add a little bit of the black shade that's down here on the bottom corner, and I'm going to do the same process using that flat eyeshadow brush, just grabbing a little bit on my brush and just patting it gently right here in the outer V of my eye. And then we're going to just blend that in. That's very deep and very pigmented, so we really want to be sure to blend it and give that nice, beautiful, smoky-eyed look on the outer corner. Using just soft motions, just rounded circular motions, just trying to keep it as much in the outer V as I can, just really keeping it concentrated and deep and dark right here. That is really, really pretty. And I'm pulling it up just a little bit just to make sure there's no harsh lines. I want everything to be blended together. That is really, really pretty. For the next step, I'm going to start adding some glitter onto the inner part of my eye on my eyelid. So I went ahead and cleaned off my flat eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to take this and go into this light shimmer shade right here, this nice burgundy color as well, and I'm going to put this right on the center of my eye. So I'm going to pick some of this up on my brush, and I'm going to go ahead and spray this with some setting spray just to give it a little bit of tackiness so it'll stick and it'll really make those colors pop. And I'm going to put this just right on the center of my eyelid. Oh, that's really pretty. That's a nice vibrant color. That's going to pop really well with all of those dark colors that we've got on the outer corner as well. Going up just a little bit into my crease just to make sure that everything is blended. I am going to put a lighter color on the inner corner here, or the inner part of my eyelid. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this into the center, and then we'll add that other color just to lighten things up. Blending nicely into those darker colors on the edge. It looks really good with those deeper burgundy colors that we put already, those mattes, so it's going to just blend in nicely with this burgundy color in the center. And now, as we are moving into that inner part of our eyelid, we're going to go ahead and lighten it up just a little bit more. I'm going to use this shade up here, this nice light shimmer, and I'm going to use that same flat eyeshadow brush. I went ahead and cleaned that off, and I'm just going to grab some of this shade here, and then I'm going to spray it also with my setting spray again, just to be able to make sure I've got a nice vibrant color. So I'm just going to give this a quick spritz. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this right here on this inner part of my eyelid. I love the shimmers in this palette. They are very vibrant, very pretty, even for kind of darker colors like that burgundy color. They really are very vibrant and pop really nicely. And I'm just going to blend this as nicely as I can right here into that burgundy color, so everything just blends together and goes nicely across the eyelid. And I may go back and add a little bit more of the burgundy with my finger just to make sure everything blends together. That is really pretty. Now I'm going to go back with my finger with that burgundy shimmer here, and I'm going to just pick just a little bit up and just blend right here where those two shimmers meet, just to make sure there's no harsh lines and everything looks nice together. Now we're going to start working on the lower lash line, and so starting out from the outer corner moving in, I'm going to go back into this middle burgundy shade here, and I'm just going to use a small flat eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to just grab some of this color, and I'm just going to line it right underneath my waterline. I want it to be nice and deep and dramatic and packed in, so I'm going to just grab quite a bit and just pack it in underneath my eye. And I'm going to stop right about here, just so I can add a little bit more of a shimmer going into the inner corner just to lighten things up, but I do want most of this to be pretty dark. Now as we're moving towards the inner corner, I'm going to use that same brush. I cleaned it off, and I'm going to go ahead and use this nice vibrant orange color here in the corner, and I'm just going to pick some of this up on my brush, and I am going to spray this just a little bit just to give it a nice base to grab onto. So I'm just going to grab some setting spray, give it a quick spritz, and then I'm just going to put this right here as we're approaching the inner corner, just to add a little more vibrancy and lightness. And just blending it right into that deep dark burgundy color so it all looks blended and cohesive. That is really pretty. It adds just a little extra pop as we're moving towards the inner corner. And now I just want to add a little bit of lightness to the inner corner of my eye, and so I'm actually going to use a couple of colors, the last two on this side of the palette, this silver and this nice white, just to add a lot of lightness and vibrancy. So I'm going to grab my flat eyeshadow brush that I used earlier, and I'm going to go ahead and start with this silver. I'm going to just pick up just a little bit on my brush so that I've got a nice just shimmery glow, and I'm going to give this a quick spritz just to make sure that everything pops while we are adding it to the inner corner. And I'm just going to go ahead and pat this in just to add some lightness. I'll grab just a little bit more. That is really pretty. And then I'm going to use that same brush, and I'm going to pick up just a little bit of this white, and I'm going to add that right on top of the silver. I'm going to flip my brush over and just pick up the white and just pop a little bit right on top of that as well, just to make sure it's nice and light and glittery. That is really, really pretty. That adds some lightness to this look since we've got a lot of dark colors and some deep yellows and oranges and burgundies. We wanted to add just a little bit of a lightness as well, and that's really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and pop on some eyeliner, some mascara, and then I'll be back and we'll take a look at this final look for this palette, and then I'll share some of my thoughts about the palette as well. And here's the finished look. I'm so happy with how this turned out. Off camera, I went ahead and added some black eyeliner to the top of my eyes. This is Ulta Beauty Collection Automatic Eyeliner in matte black. And then in the waterline, I added Ulta Beauty Collection Gel Eyeliner. This is in the shade Buff Babe. It's just a nude eyeliner. And then for my mascara, I used the Tarte Cosmetics Maneater. This is the waterproof version. It's a really great mascara. And so that really completed this look. It made it really just vibrant and pops. It's really beautiful. So let's take a closer look, and then I'll share some of my thoughts about this palette. Really enjoyed using the TINTARK Funfair palette to create this look today. This is such a cute palette. It has a great color story. I love that it has two different sides. We've got the lighter colors and then the more neutral colors on each side. That way you can create different kinds of look. I really enjoyed getting to use the neutral ones today, and then I'm looking forward to using the lighter colors in the future. I feel like all of the colors really performed very well, and being able to use the mattes, they blended together really well, and then all of the shimmers were very vibrant, and so they really blended together very well. They showed up really nicely on the eye. I did use setting spray, as I mentioned throughout the tutorial, and that definitely helped to really make those shimmers pop. This is the second TINTARK collection that I have used, or their palettes that I've used. The first one that I used was the Cloudy with a Chance of Sprinkles. If you're interested in seeing a tutorial and a review of that palette, check out the link in the description below. And that was a great palette as well. I feel like TINTARK Cosmetics have not disappointed. They've been really great colors, really great formulas. They blend together very nicely and create very vibrant looks. I do really like using bright colors, and so being able to have those bright colors that go together really nicely in the palette has been a great experience. So I would highly recommend the Funfair palette. I think it's a really great palette for a really great price point, so definitely check out the description. I've got a link for this palette below, so you can check it out and see if this is something that you might be interested in purchasing as well. Thank you so much for checking out my video today. I would love to hear from you in the comments below if you have used TINTARK Cosmetics before, or if you've even used the Funfair palette, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you want to see more tutorials and makeup reviews, please subscribe to my channel. Until next time, let's be kind to each other, beautiful to ourselves, and never afraid to make up the rules.